Good morning. You're welcome to the morning news segment with ArewaBlue News TV. My name is Ibrahim Sufianisa, news anchor for the second day of April 2020. The federal government has relaxed total lockdown it imposed on the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja, Lagos, and Ogun State to curb the spread of the COVID-19. The government, in the new guidelines it issued on Wednesday, stated that markets selling food would open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. every other day. Also, supermarkets and pharmacies are to open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day, but must maintain a high level of hygiene. The new guidelines also ban bus services during the lockdown, as it adds that a mass gathering of more than 20 people is not allowed. The federal government reviewed the lockdown on Wednesday just as COVID-19 cases rose to 174 with 35 new cases. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control had on Tuesday put the total number of COVID-19 cases in the country at 139. In view of the development, President Buhari has approved the release of 70,000 metric tons of grains for the poor and vulnerable amid the restrictions to curtail the spread of COVID-19 in the country. The chairman of the Presidential Task Force, Boss Mustafa, stated this at a press conference addressed by the task force. He said Lagos and Ogun State, as well as the Federal Capital Territory, would receive the first tranche of the grains. According to the Secretary General of the Federation, the new guidelines will be widely circulated to all the security agencies and will be discussed with the subnational entities for the purposes of building synergy in the fight against the virus. He added that the guidelines and policies would also be published in the national dailies and broadcast on the news network for more awareness. UEFA have made a move towards clearing the decks for the return of club football by announcing on Wednesday that all international matches that have been pushed back to June have now been postponed until further notice. This includes the playoff matches for the UEFA Euro 2020 and qualified matches for UEFA Women's Euro 2021, and all other UEFA competition matches, including the centralized international friendly matches, remain postponed until further notice. The decision followed a video conference with Europe's 55 member federations as part of the discussions on how to adapt the fixture calendar in the face of the ongoing coronavirus crisis. The playoff semi-finals and finals that are supposed to decide the last 4 qualifying berths for the next European Championship were initially postponed at the end of March and penciled in provisionally for June. That was subject to a review of the situation amid uncertainty over how the pandemic would develop and whether many European countries currently in the lockdown will be able to return to some kind of normality. However, UEFA has also stated a determination to finish all domestic and club competitions by June 30. While that currently looks ambitious at the very least, clearing the international fixtures from the same month does buy some more time as they aim to complete the UEFA Champions League and the UEFA Europa League competitions as well as the domestic leagues. Carrying the season on beyond the date runs the risk of clubs losing their out-of-contract players before matches have been completed unless a solution can be found. The impact of the pandemic on Europe has already forced UEFA to put Euro 2020 back 12 months. Governor Ben Ayade of Cross River State has imposed a new restriction he described as no-nose marks and no movement. In a press statement signed by Mr. Christian Ita, the special advisor on media and publicity to the governor and made available to us on Wednesday night, the governor also imposed a total shutdown of entry and exit points into the state. The action it gathered may not be unconnected with the discovery of 5 persons in the neighboring state, Akwa Ibom, who have tested positive for the deadly coronavirus. Mr. Ita, in his own words, said, following the proliferation of new cases of coronavirus in neighboring states, the Cross River State Governor Sir Ben Ayade has imposed new restrictions on residents of the state as follows. All exit and entry points into the state are now completely shut. No human or vehicular movement will be allowed into the state under any disguise. No citizen or resident of the state will be allowed to leave home without a face mask from Friday, 3rd of April 2020. Failure to adhere to this directive will lead to the arrest and quarantine of the offenders for 14 days. The Director General of the World Health Organization, Tedros Ghebreyesus, has said 1 million cases of coronavirus will be recorded worldwide in few days. As of Wednesday, over 800,000 people have been infected, with over 40,000 deaths so far recorded. Speaking at a press briefing on Wednesday, Ghebreyesus expressed concerns about the rapid escalation and global spread of coronavirus. In his own words, he said, as we enter the 4th month since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, I am deeply concerned concerned about the rapid escalation and global spread of infection. Over the past 5 weeks, we have witnessed a near exponential growth in the number of new COVID-19 cases, reaching almost every country, territory, and area. The number of deaths has more than doubled in the past week, and in the next few days, we will reach 1 million confirmed COVID-19 cases and 50,000 deaths. Barcelona are looking to strike a part exchange deal for Neymar that would see Antoine Griezmann move to Paris Saint-Germain this summer. The Spanish giants are ready to let Griezmann leave after just one season to help fund the signings of Neymar and Lautaro Martinez from Inter Milan. Barcelona valued the France forward at €100 million and will look to sell him to another club if neither the player nor the PSG want to do a deal. PSG reportedly valued Neymar at €150 million, and with the COVID-19 outbreak, expensive transfers like these are looking increasingly unlikely. Even the richest clubs in Europe are counting the cost of their operations being postponed amid the pandemic. Barcelona captain Lionel Messi announced last week that he and his teammates had agreed to take a 70% pay cut to help secure the club's financial stability through the coronavirus outbreak. And lastly, Governor Samuel Ortom has said that fumigation of markets in Makurdi and other parts of Benin State will commence tomorrow. Ortom stated this on Wednesday during a tour of Makurdi to ascertain the level of compliance with the stay-at directive against the spread of coronavirus in the state. He told some of the traders who were yet to comply with the directive not to return to the markets tomorrow as they won't be allowed in, stating that the fumigation was in accordance with the World Health Organization's advice to governments at all levels. The governor said he was impressed with the level of compliance of Makurdi modern market, urging traders in other markets across the state to take a cue from their counterparts at the modern markets. He further stated that 2 isolation and treatment centers had been dedicated at the Federal Medical Center and Benue State University Teaching Hospital in Makurdi, and advised anyone with persistent coughing, sneezing, high temperature, and similar symptoms to go for test. Governor Tom, who was accompanied on the tour by some of his appointees and security heads in the state, visited Wadata, Modern Market, High Level, Wurukum, and Northern and Bank markets. And that brings us to the end of the morning news segment for this day. Do join us in the evening for more news updates. My name is Ibrahim Sufianisa, your news anchor. Bye for now.
I will not stop talking until you subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's right, don't walk away.